everyone, and welcome to another guitar tutorial. Today we have a favourite of Aussie Rules footballers everywhere, the theme song to the AFL Footy Show. On this particular CD you can find such club songs as Brisbane Bears, Footscray, Fitzroy Lions. I've had it a while. Anyway, track number 1 also happens to be More Than a Game, which I think was written by Darren Sanicki with John Albert and also sung by Chris Doheny. This song is not my own, and the only reason that I'm doing a tutorial is because tablature for this song has not existed until now. Check out the time codes on the side of the screen if there's a particular part of the song that you would like to learn. But before we get started, I'd like to give a special shout out to the amazing Boris Markov for providing the drum track for my video. If you want a fantastic drum track for your own project, follow the link on the screen and get Boris to do one for you. I highly recommend him. Anyway, let's begin. This song is written in G-flat Lydian mode. What does that mean? Well, it means that we start with this G-flat scale. And we begin on the B-flat note, which is the starting chord of the song. We're going to need some chords for this song, and they are based around the G-flat scale. So here we have G-flat, A-flat minor, B-flat minor, B, D-flat, E-flat minor, F or F diminished, and back to the G-flat. But seeing as how this is a rock and roll song, we're going to be using power chords. So let's start by looking at F fifth. And it is F fifth, you can call it F5 if you want to, but we actually have the bass note, the octave note, and the fifth note. That's why it's called a fifth, but we'll just call it F from here on. So F, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, E flat, and F, the octave. I'm going to use an acoustic guitar right now to show the implied tonality of the horn section that begins the song before the drums and all that start. And there's this part here that begins with like a B flat bass note. We hear the bass note here. And that's our sort of cue to start what the horns are playing. And then we do the same thing as we hear the G flat note. And then we have two things going on. They can be separate notes by guitar 1 and 2. The other guitar can do the same sort of thing, up higher. Together that would look like this. And then we go that. So let's have a look at the verses. Verse 1 and 2 both begin on the B flat 5th chord. And then alternate between that and the F chord before going to a descending chord pattern. Okay, and the verse will ultimately end in the F 5th chord, the type 1, the low one. Let's have a look at what that looks like, and please forgive my singing. Understand, there's a fire that burns brightly inside you. Call to arms, you must stand and face your fate. The time has arrived to be the best that you can be. All doubts disappear, the spotlight awaits. chorus, you'll notice guitar 2 does a fill. It begins on the D string in the 4th fret. And when you return to the solo later on, you'll notice they use the same one, but then go from the low F to the high one. And so in the chorus we begin with a D flat 5th chord, or we'll just call it a D flat, and it goes to an E flat and an F, and that's pretty much it, and you can strum it however you want. There's more than a game, there's more than a game of the fortune or fame, there's more than a game. So because the second verse is pretty much exactly the same as the first one, I'm going to play along with an acoustic guitar because that's the way I like to get things done. We're going to have a capo in the 1st fret and we're going to use an A minor chord for the B flat. In your head, like a flash in the rock astound you. In your heart, there's a pounding you can't restrain. The quest for prize, it means everything to everyone. Hero, fool, glory or shame. It's more than a game. It's more than a game. All the fortune or fame. It's more than a game. So during the bridge there's another nice clean part that I'm going to demonstrate. It is synthesizer, which I've tried to arrange for guitar as well, and basically it's some arpeggiated notes. Being as how it's a synth, it's not an exact science because there's inversions involved. We have the arpeggiated notes of a G flat chord, and then an A flat chord, and then an inversion of an F, and then a B flat. Know your life, your dream. Now the time is here. Move your hand clear. Push aside your fear. And then it goes like that on the repeat, but with a suspension to finish. So let me show you what that looks like. Make the world remember your name. And so to the part that I think everyone's really here for, and that's the guitar solo. I've divided this up into 8 bars to help people work out what's what and follow along. The first bar, bar 1, if you follow the tab, is an anacrusis because it leads into the solo without actually beginning on the first beat. And it begins on the 18th fret on your top string. And we've got a bit of a pull off. Just have a look at the tab if you're not too sure. So once again, bar 1, a nice little lead in. Where does that go to? Well, to bar 2, because we have these full bends on the 16th fret. Let's go from bar 1 again. So then that goes into bar 3. So once again, bar 1 leads us in. And then bar 2 continues the melody nicely. So from bar 1 again. So we're on to bar 3 now with these 16th fret bends on the second string with the 13th fret on the first. Okay, so now we're into the 4th bar, but let's have a look at the 3rd bar again. Now you could go, and you certainly can, because that note there and the 10th fret here are the same thing. But let's have a look at why we might not do that. It sounds a little bit disjointed, doesn't it? What I think they're actually doing, instead of going, I think they're actually staying on the same string. Have a bit of a listen. So let's have a look in the 3rd bar again. Once again, we've gone into the 4th bar there. Okay, and that's when we go into bar 5. We're on the D string in the 15th fret. And we go to this high part in the 16th fret on the B string. I like that. So let's go from halfway through the 5th bar, beginning with those high bends. And so onto the bar that gave me the most trouble, and I think that is the 8th bar of the solo. What I think is happening is we start on the 16th fret of the D string, and we could have followed this chord down here. But what I think is happening is that we begin on the 16th fret, and then go to the G string and tremolo pick, and then the 18th fret on the same string, and then the 18th fret of the one below it, and then strike the top string on the 16th fret 3 times. And that final one, I think we've got the 13th fret on the top string and the 16th fret here on the B string, and I think that we bend the B string up to a unison. I think. Or something like that anyway. These are only guidelines, do what you want. Anyway, that's enough out of me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Be good to each other. Bye!